Okay, let's take a look at some more reflectance shaders. Let's open the reflectance shader library, and let's go choose the translucency shader. So let's see what parameters we can edit. As you can see, there's a simple luminescence setting over here, which basically affects how bright the material looks. And what we also have over here is a translucency setting. And basically, this shader recreates a material that appears to reflect a large amount of light from its internal volume. So kind of like if you imagine like a neon tube or like some sort of very bright object, then basically increasing the translucency determines how much light appears to be reflected from inside the material. So it's almost like plastic. Let's apply it to our objects to see what it looks like. Let's apply it to that one, and let's increase the luminescence, apply it to that one. And let's increase translucency and everything for that one. Let's do a render of our scene to see what it looks like. As you can see, the luminescence setting controls how bright the object looks, and translucency setting controls how much light appears to be reflected inside the material. Now we want more settings. What we can do is we can use the translucent plastic setting, and that's right below it over here. As you can see, we have more parameters now. With diffuse setting, which we've used before, with the shininess setting, which allows us to set the shininess of the object, with the specularity setting, which allows us to affect the size of the specular highlights. So let's try applying a high specular highlight, a pretty high shininess, high diffusion, and low luminosity to our object over here. Then let's change the settings to make a low diffuse, low shininess, and high specularity to our object over here. And then let's apply low specularity, high shininess, and medium diffuse and higher luminescence to our object back over there. Let's do a scene render. Okay, there's also the specular color we can set, which basically affects the color of the specular highlight. So as you can see, we can make a green highlight, which doesn't look that good. Usually leaving it on white gives you the best results, but sometimes if you have colored lights, you might want to simulate the look of the colored specular highlights by just changing the specular highlight color over here. So let's try with blue specular highlight applied to our object over here. You can see now it looks like this blue light shining on it. That's an interesting effect. Then it's the same translucency setting, which we can set over here, that affects how much it looks like the light's reflecting inside the object. So let's change this back to white. As you can see, increasing translucency makes it like there's more light reflecting inside. Let's apply it to our object and see what it looks like. Let's edit this slightly, low translucency for the middle object. And then let's have zero translucency for that one back over there. Let's do a scene render. As you can see, you can use it for quite a lot of effects. Try it out and see what you can do for yourself.